Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event featuring new 18 Silverado Double Cab LTs. Power lease, $259 per month lease. Power price, $32,490. New 18 Silverado Crew Cabs. Power lease, $429 per month lease. Power price, $36,490. Over 170 Traverse, Equinox, and Trax available. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. Schottenkirk Chevy, Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, beside your style, we've got it all.
It's time now for Waukee High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is Iowa's premier source for live-streamed high school football. The football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Atlantic Bottlers, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, G&L Clothing. Now let's go to our CISN.TV team for Waukee Warrior football.
Good evening and welcome to Waukee High School Stadium. Dar Danielson here with you alongside Laura Leonard on CISN.TV. As you can see, we're cozied up in the press box because kind of our first hot chocolate night of the year for the football season here, Laura.
It's definitely football weather tonight. We're all bundled up. We're layered up. We can smell the hot chocolate, and so it's a perfect football night. And it's week 2 of district action here tonight. Waukee coming back home after going on the road and opening up at Mason City with district win. Des Moines East lost in their district opener to, was it Indianola? It was. I have it right here. They lost to Johnston.
Johnston in their opener. And that'll be a good game coming up at the end of the season where Johnston will come here to Waukee. But Waukee rebounding after that game with a let's slip away here against Valley in the final seconds that we saw. And rebounded, went on the road and got a win against Mason City. Nice thing about it is you get a start of a second season here. You win the district and you get the automatic bid in the playoffs.
And it has to be the mindset right now is focus on district play because that's what you're in. You're in the middle of district play, and they lost that heartbreaker 2 weeks ago, had to rebound. They did it in fine fashion. Now you have to just take care of business from here on out. You have to win football games and then let the numbers do what they do, and hopefully you'll make the playoffs if you don't win your district.
Looking at District 6, Indianola at 1-0, Johnston 1-0, Waukee at 1-0, East, Mason City, and Ottumwa all at 0-1 in district play here. So a big game here for East anyway, in that you don't want to fall 2 games behind in the district. And then every game you win, your record, that's also figured in your RPI coming into this. And if I can flip my page over here to the RPIs, look at it. Right now you've got Waukee is at 15 and East is down at 23. So you got to think for East to keep any kind of postseason hopes alive. they really need to win here tonight.
Well, they're almost all must-win games for East from here on out, and it is a tough test for the Scarlets here tonight against Waukee. It's a team that's a little banged up. They've lost some running backs, they've lost some personnel, but they're still very good. They still have a great quarterback, and that East defense is going to have to be on their toes to try to shut down the running game.
And talking about great quarterbacks, Mitch Randall, he's been the guy who's been the one that's kind of got this offense going here, and he rallies the team for Waukee all season long. We know Sam Yeway, their starting running back, he'll be out tonight with an injury, but they do get some other guys back. At this point in the season, you're halfway through. Everybody's a little dinged up now and then and has some injuries, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a violent game. It's a rough game, and you're bound to have injuries. You just hope it's not to key players on the team and the players that make the plays for you. Sam Yeway was a player that definitely made a lot of plays for Waukee. He's out, but he had a nice replacement. I think it was Alex Lindquist that stepped in last week, had 4 rushing touchdowns against Mason City. And so, they've got it's next man up mentality, I think, especially when you get to this point of the year.
Then for East, you're coming over here, and it's senior recognition night. It's flag football night. It's every kind of – Jim Dewey has all kinds of promotions. You got the stands packed with purple here. You got to come out and play against that big, visiting crowd. You're the visitor coming in against this crowd. You got to learn how to handle that in this stadium with that large crowd against you, don't you?
Well, you do, and you look across the way, not a lot of people in the stands yet for East High School. I'm sure a few more will make their way in, but, I think the way to try to take the crowd out of it is make those big plays. East is a team that can make a lot of big plays. They're pass first, it seems like, if you look at some of the statistics, run second, and if they can hit some of those long pass plays, that might take this crowd out of it and get that defense back on their heels.
And I think the thing, too, you don't want to play from behind. Just looking at putting the lineups together, there's a little disparity weight-wise and size-wise between these two teams, and Waukee is a team that can wear you down. They can quick strike, we know that too, but they can also hand it off to that running back, and those big guys up front can push you down the field and just wear you down. So you want to stay within striking distance too, don't you?
You have to. And, they can eat up a lot of clock. They can eat up a lot of yardage as well. And just, hand off or run pass option, do whatever they want to do, see what the defense is giving them and try to exploit that. And just try to eventually just bang with that defensive line and try to wear them down over the course of the game and see if they can put up a lot of points on East.
Well, we got this game here tonight. Other games on CISN.TV, Southeast Polk at Ankeny Centennial talk about nail-biter losses in the final 5 seconds. That game last week, Southeast Polk gets beat by what is a really good, talented Fort Dodge team. That game is on also tonight. Paul Yeager in Ankeny doing that game here. And also Pat Curtis over at Valley High School, Valley Stadium. Urbandale goes over to visit Valley in a big game there in District 7 between Urbandale and Valley. Can anybody knock off Valley is the question right now.
Well, the team we saw 2 weeks ago was very close to doing that,
yep.
And they let it slip away in about the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. So I think that gives other teams some hope to look at that game film and say, okay, Waukee stayed with them. They did some things were able to score a fair amount of points on them. So what did they do? What can we do to try to knock off Valley? And I think that's probably what Urbandale's looking at here tonight.
Well, it's a District 6 matchup, game number 2 in the district here tonight. Waukee comes in at 1-0, East at 0-1. We're about ready for the kickoff here. We'll take a break. We'll come back with that after this on CISN.TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me. Because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all-meat combo, hot stuffed taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Back here at Waukee High School, Des Moines East has won the toss and deferred, and Waukee will get the ball first. And so we'll see how that strategy works. Want to put the defense out there first, and I think we talked about this in the past. Sometimes you get your defense out there first, you get to hit a little bit and kind of take some of those nerves out of it for you, especially playing on the road.
Yeah, you want to get out there and shake a few things loose if you can right away, and then get into the game not only mentally but physically, and that's a good way to do it by putting your defense out there right away.
Speaking of nerves, it's Military Appreciation Night, and they have a howitzer down at the end of the track there. They did the national anthem before we got on the air, and they fired that sucker off at the end of the national anthem, and it shook all of us up. We're all a little edgy after that.
Scared the living daylights out of us.
But a salute out to all the military here tonight at tonight's game, and it's always fun to see those young kids in the flag football running across that field dreaming about how they might be out there someday wearing the purple and playing for Waukee.
Yeah, that's where it all starts. You build it up from the bottom. You get the young kids involved. You get them excited about it and give them the opportunity to run onto this great field one time, and then the bug catches and they want to just continue to play football.
So here's the kick. It's a short kick, taken about the 29 up to the 34-yard line by Waukee. Ellis for Waukee. Be first and 10 for Waukee up at the 34-yard line. So it'll be Mitch Randall, Alex Lindquist getting the start at tailback. Zach Eaton, Blake Espelin, Jalen Martinez, the receivers. There's a fake. Randall rolling to his left. Throws it out there deep. Has a man on the run. Up down to the 20, 15, and knocked out of bounds. Is that Eaton?
I believe it is Eaton.
No, that's Sam Odell, number 16, Sam Odell. Let me see. Okay, they said he was not going to start. Maybe they switched that up. They did anyway on us, so.
That was a good start for Waukee. A little fake handoff, roll out, and they catch Odell going down the sidelines, and he just battled and gained a few extra yards after he made some contact.
Randall keeps it himself. Going to run into the end zone. Touchdown, Waukee. And there's that cannon.
Might hear that a few times tonight. In two plays, Waukee's on the board as a pass play and then a run option play as they got inside the 10-yard line and right into the end zone. Randall for the touchdown.
Two plays, 66 yards. And Randall runs it in.
They scored so quickly, the East defense really didn't get a chance to hit anybody to get the nerves out.
I kind of wondered. I thought maybe they'd take the ball first and try to, go for the lead. Here's the kick, and it's flat, but it gets through there for Jaden. He is perfect 12 of 12 from PATs on the season, and it's a quick 7-0 lead here before everybody can sit down here in the stadium. We'll take a quick break and come back with a kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. September and October are the best times of year to sit outside, and we still have a great selection of 2018 merchandise, like this OWLE Deep Seating group. Or maybe you'd prefer wicker, like this North Cape group. And fire pits. There's nothing better than sitting out on the deck in the fall with a nice fire going. But get here soon, because the sold tags are coming out quick, and you don't want to be too late. For great deals on great furniture, come to Fireplace Superstore.
Here at Waukee, the Warriors took the opening kickoff to the 34, then two plays later, it was Mitch Randall running it in. from 13 yards out. The big pass to Odell. Took it from the 34 down to their 13, and then Randall keeps it himself and goes over to the left side and scores it. And here's the kick taken back at the 5, up to the 20, turning inside 25 and ripped down.
That's number 4, Tyler Woodyard.
And that's Tyler Woodyard for East.
They had that set up nicely. He had one man to beat and a nice tackle by Waukee to shut him down. Otherwise, he had a hole and he had a lot of distance and green in front of him that he might have taken it all the way to the house.
Well, for Des Moines East to be Corey Mills, Aubrey Gillard, the running back, Stephon Field, Matthew Scott, Jalen Long, the wide receivers. Offensively, the tackle, Caleb James, Joe Dow, Larry Scott, Zion Williamson, and Truman Rodman. As they start out with trips to the left, hand it off, and some good yardage.
Maurice Davis on the carry for the Scarlets.
Maurice Davis.
Tackled by Nicholas Barreto, the captain, number 34.
So already changes in the line of I was giving it some starters on
Both
my
sides.
sheet. Yeah, both sides.
Well, sometimes, after you talk to the coaches, you don't know what happens in practice, and if people get dinged up a little bit, somebody else may start.
There's a handoff. Davis driving, trying to get up ahead. Picks up a yard, so to bring up 3rd and short.
And it could be something that the coaches saw in game film that they were looking at. They decided, no, maybe we insert a different player, we go with a different tactic, change things up maybe at the last minute.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 at the 32-yard line for East. Trips to the right, one to the left. The quarterback will take it and keep it himself over the left side. Finds some room over there. Corey Mills.
Corey Mills, number 17 on the keeper.
He doesn't run a lot. 129 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. So he does run a little bit. He is a threat back there, and he gets the first down that time.
He's more of a passing threat. We got a player down, too, for Waukee.
And these gray uniforms are not my favorite for trying to see the numbers.
Looks like Jacob Martin is the player down.
So Corey Mills takes it himself and gets a 1st and 10 at the 40. Their own 40 for East. Here as they get the initial first down for them. And again, they'll send 3 receivers out wide to the right. Mills back there with a single back, drops back, wings it out to the left side. Double coverage, knocked around and knocked away back there.
Yeah, they had the 3 receivers out here to the right side. He looked that way, and then he went back to the left side of the field into double coverage.
Simon Lofsgaard, the one who got the hand on it and kind of tipped it away there, brings up 2nd and 10.
And I think that's the attack that you're going to see from the Scarlets is more through the air.
Dropping back, looking. Now rolling under pressure. He'll tuck it under and run across the 45 up to the 47-yard line.
Quarterback scramble, Corey Mills,
So
17 for the Scarlets.
Mills
Tackle made by number 34.
makes it a manageable 3rd down again with the run. Good patience out of him. He didn't try to force that in there and waited till the very last second to pull that down and run, Laura.
Yeah, always had the arm up ready to look like he might throw it at any minute. So that keeps your defense locked in and allows you some time to maybe look upfield and see what you can do with the ball.
High snap. He throws it out there to the slot, and the defender comes in late and kind of knocks that away. Intended for Matthew Scott. Right up at the 50. If he catches that, it's a 1st down. We'll see if they're going to go for it here. At midfield, looks like
they are.
They are.
So an early gamble by the East Scarlets. If they don't make it, gives Waukee great field position.
Mills, now he'll punt it. Looked at it, saw it wasn't open. It hits a Waukee player. And it's down at the 35.
Punt by number 17, Corey Mills.
And it's East ball as it hit the Waukee player, kind of had his back turned to him.
That's where communication comes in. I know it was kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
The quick kick by the quarterback and the
little hang time on it too, and the Waukee player was just kind of had his back turned, looking to block, and
bounced up and hit him right in the back, and smart play, East right there to recover it.
Gee, where have I seen that recently? And what football game was
just about a week ago?
Teams wearing black, yeah. 1st and 10 now at the 35 of Waukee for East. Handoff up the middle, pounding through there and grinding, still moving ahead and falling ahead, getting good yardage. Davis.
Waukee's saying there's a fumble in there.
Yeah, they're saying they ripped the ball out, but I haven't seen any signal from the officials yet. Well, they're going to mark it. They might be saying his momentum stopped. But a pickup there from Reese Davis of about 6. He's good yard. He's kept his feet pumping too, didn't he?
Exactly, and he did that on the first carry of the ball game. Just kept those legs driving.
There's a quick out pass, caught out around the first down marker. They're going to give it to him, I think. It's Matthew Scott catches it out there. So they're going to give him the first down to the 25. So East responding here too, and with the help of the muff punt or fumble punt, I guess you call that a fumble. He touched it. And here comes East. Quick out to that slot receiver up the right side. 20, slips a tackle. 15-10, knocked out of bounds, or knocked down, I guess. Didn't get out of bounds. About the 6. Deshaun Jabu, the senior, takes it down to about the 7-yard line.
Good job of slipping that tackle, and that's been one of the things that's been so impressive about this East High Scarlet team is they are not going down on first contact.
Well, here's a case where the Waukee defense is sitting over there and they see their team score right away, and then they come out and maybe not quite ready here for this East offense. Then East went back like they were going to go for it on 4th down. They punt it, kind of surprised them. It comes off of a Waukee player, and they get the ball up at the 35. And Tanner Ellis
is the player
that's down.
It looks like they're working on a knee, which is never a good thing.
You wanted the cool. I always liked it a little cooler when you're playing because you got all that gear on and you get a little warmer. The thing you don't like is if you're playing, you get warm, you come to the sideline, and then you cool down again. But, I know earlier we saw a lot of cramping and stuff in some of those earlier games we did where there was heat out there, but we'll see what happens here. But, man, you got to credit East. They're coming right out here and driving it down down to the 7-yard line and mixing things up. Look like they're going to go for it on 4th down, but they do that quarterback punt and comes off a Waukee, and now they're set up in good position here.
And there's good balance, too, of play selection. They run and pass almost about 50-50 the way they're going about it, and caught the lucky break with the surprise quick kick and able to continue this drive and eat up a lot of clock, too.
And Corey Mills, you can see where he's a threat. He's a lot of passing, but he also has that threat with the legs. You can't, overlook that. He's made a couple plays here to keep the drive alive. So 1st and goal at the 7. They'll come out now with 2-back set up there. And he'll follow him right in. Looks over to the left side, tries to sneak through there, and gets down inside the 5. Now they're going to mark him right at the 5, so it picks up a couple.
Yeah, that was a Wildcat. Jalen Long was the one that took the snap.
Mm-hmm. So 2nd and 5, or 2nd goal at the 5. It looks like Long is going to stay in there. Let's see if he goes. Oh, Mills now. Quarterback. Hands it off, and right up the middle goes Davis. He pounds down to about the 3-yard line. So here's where you might think either hand it off or you roll Mills out and either give him that run-pass option here, knowing, Laura, how well he can run the ball.
I've seen him do it a couple of times so far here in the first quarter, and they're back to their normal set with Mills in there at quarterback and Davis right next to him.
High snap, now throws it out quick over and trying to look for that back shoulder throw, I think, but a little wide, and let's see what they do now. If they, looks like they might send out the field goal team.
Now he's looking for Jalen Long in the corner of the end zone, just overthrew him. See what they're gonna do here. And it does look like they're setting up for the field goal.
It's like Diego Morales Ordaz will come out. Left-footed boot is no good. Pulls it wide to the right. So a missed field goal and a missed opportunity there for East.
Yeah, they did a nice job of driving it down the field, could not cash in. Thought they might go for it on 4th down to try to punch it into the end zone. If you don't make it, you put Waukee deep in their own
long
territory.
Field, yeah.
Now they're going to get it at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's the thing about high school. You miss that field goal no matter where it's at. You bring it back out to the 20 as long as you get that ball past the line of scrimmage. So Waukee will start out their second drive, 1st and 10 at the 20. First one, they started out at the 34 and went 2 plays and punched it in. Here's Mitch Randall with twin receivers to each side. They're looking over to get the play to the left side. Plenty of time left on the play clock. Send that man in motion, fake the jet sweep, wing it out to the right side, and a little bit of a high pass to Espeland. A little better pass, and Espeland had a lot more room.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Just didn't hit him in stride. He had to reach up for it and then tried to turn and get himself upfield. Couldn't get the feet set correctly to get any traction.
So here's Randall again. This time pitch back and trying to cut it up, and met immediately is Espeland.
I think Randall had a little trouble handling that snap. I think they were lucky to make that pitch.
Well, they pick up 2 more. Brings up a 3rd and 6 at the 24 for Waukee.
3rd and 6.
Randall trips to the right, fakes to Espeland, wings it out high over the head of the receiver out there, who was right up close to a 1st down marker. So
a couple of linebackers had broken through the line, coming to put that pressure on Randall.
And there's a penalty flag down. Let's see what it is here. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Waukee, so that'll put him back even deeper for the punt here. And that'll move it all the way back to the 12.
Penalty. 4th down.
Bring up 4th and
Alex Walsh and
18 at the 12, and Weiss is going to come out of this if they feel it okay with good field position. Walsh will come back to punt it. He's averaging about 32 yards a kick. High snap, he handles it, gets it away, low bouncer, hits, picked up, and then snowed under immediately is Deshaun Gilbo.
That's number 20 on the tackle, Mason Seafried.
Deshaun Jibu is caught that kick.
That ball just bounced right up to him, and he was looking for a little daylight, kind of tried to duck down and get underneath the tackles, but they were right there to bring him down.
So 1st and 10 at their own 49 for East here. Missed the field goal on the last drive. Sends Scott in motion across the formation. Handoff over the left side, running hard, Maurice Davis. Man, he's a good north-south runner. Once he gets that ball, he just puts the head down and goes.
And he just lowered his shoulder and welcomed the contact and got a couple extra yards out of it.
2nd and 3 into Waukee territory at the 44. Mills hands it off again, caught from behind, but he's going to fall ahead. He'll be just shy of the first down. Well, you grab him, you got to hang on because he keeps those feet moving.
He's not going to go down easy.
So brings up 3rd and short, 3rd and 1 for East. And Mills will send 3 to the right. Takes the snap, fakes, goes himself over the left side, gets some room and cuts it outside. And the defender shot through there, but just could not catch him. Almost stopped him in the backfield, but he headed outside, got around the tackler.
Looked like he might have gotten a hand on him, but Mills was too quick and was able to get around and get the corner and get the first down. They spread the field over and put the 3 wide receivers over to the right side of the field to try to spread the defense out a little bit, give him a little bit more running room.
Defense, Caleb Paulus, Jacob Barton, Connor Arndt, Alex Wiggins up front, Trey Hardy, Cole Spikesman, Nick Barretto. The linebackers, here's a high snap. Rolling, looking, trying to roll out of pressure. This time he's going to be brought down right back around the line of scrimmage. As got the pressure in there on him that time.
Yeah, good push by all the guys that you just mentioned right there on the defensive line for Waukee. They gave a good push and able to get into the backfield and cause some disruption. And
kind of made their own defensive pocket around him, and he had nowhere to run out of there, did he? Did good to get back to about the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 at the 36 for East, trailing 7-0. Fakes this time, sets his feet, now looking, rolling, scrambling, looking, now cuts it up the field. Still, man, pulling some tacklers ahead down to the 30-yard line. And Mills doing that all on himself. Almost looked like when he pulled it down the first time on the left side that he had a lot more room over there, but
he had a couple of receivers downfield, and I just don't think he could pick them up, and could have just dropped a little pass over the top of the oncoming defense.
3rd and 5 at the 30 for East here in the first quarter. They're trailing. Waukee scored with 2 plays in the opening possession. East came back, missed the field goal, and then got it back. There's a lob out! Caught! Touchdown!
That was one heck of a pass. Very calmly, Mills just stood there in the pocket. And,
to Jalen Long, a 30-yarder.
And just outran the defender, and it just dropped it right into his arms, and he scampers the rest of the way for the touchdown.
That was just a straight go up the field, wasn't it? Just
yeah.
Sent it out there.
Just a little fly up the sideline. And
we're a kick away from tying this up here. Morales Ordaz, and this one is blocked. And so
I'll mark that one down. If this one becomes a shootout, look for those missed opportunities, missed extra points.
And I didn't see it till late, but Zach Emery had been doing the kicking for East. And then when I went to check the stats, Diego Morales Ordaz was in there kicking now. So I don't know if there was an injury on that. I didn't get a chance to check up on that. It was another one of those changes made. But the kicking game here an issue, but credit East, they've come back here, and not only they've come back, they've kind of ground that clock down a little bit here too, Laura.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to do on the road, is kind of shorten the game up, keep it out of the hands of that Waukee offense.
If they can continue to get first downs, just bit by bit, eat up yardage, take that time off the clock, less time the ball is in Waukee's hands. We know how explosive their offense can be and how quickly they can score.
So we got Odell and Antoine Watson back deep for Waukee.
And Aaron Smith just ran in too. He's out there on the right side.
Kicking off for East is number 19. Deep to receive.
And a high short kick taken at the 20, up to the 30-yard line by Waukee.
Kickoff is Reese Cooper, number 35.
Reese Cooper caught that short kick. And now Waukee will come out, leading by 1 here.
The starting position for Waukee has been very good. They've been able to take advantage of it the first time, the first initial kickoff. See what they can do here.
Randall hands it off. Good room outside, up to the 40. 45 gets a block, cuts it back in, and then rumbles out of bounds just across the 50-yard line. Lindquist gets the carry and picks up 21 into East territory.
Lindquist is filling in very nicely for the injured Sam Yeway, who averages close to 7 yards a carry, and Lindquist is doing a nice job stepping in.
And again, East gives up one of those big plays, and there's a flinch on the right side of the tackle for Waukee. And it'll be 5-yard walk-off. So 2 penalties here, both on Waukee. The big one, that unsportsmanlike conduct, moved it back 15 and gave East a little better field position. They eventually scored that.
Right.
1st and 15.
We saw penalties hurt Waukee a couple weeks ago against Valley.
There's kind of a jumble up in the backfield, but he gets out of there. Lindquist. He and Randall ran into each other, and that might be a little bit of just not working together in the backfield as much, with Yeway out of there. So
a lot of that is timing, and you're right. You just have to work together, and eventually it just is very easy. It's just like clockwork, knowing where each other are on the field, where the handoff's supposed to come.
And out on the side, it's Gaines. Oh, no, that's Espelin. And he gets up a good chunk of that. We'll put him in 3rd and about, where are they going to mark that? 3rd and about 5? 3rd and 4?
Yeah.
Yep. So 3rd and 4 at the 43-yard line. With 1:10 and counting down here in the first quarter. At Waukee. Randall. Hands off. Right up the middle, driving through for the first down is Lindquist.
Now we talk about how those East running backs, quarterback, just keep the feet moving. That time Lindquist did the same thing. He was stopped. They couldn't bring him down. He kept the legs driving forward to pick up the first down.
He's a 5'11", 183-pound sophomore. Now fakes it to Espelin, keeps it himself. Randall breaks outside to the 30 and is pulled down there. He was looking on the way to the outside lane to the end zone, but just got caught as he tried to make the turn.
Got caught from behind. They faked the handoff on the sweep, and then they were able to go right up the middle and gain a big chunk of yards.
Well, Waukee coming up quickly, trying to pick up the pace here. They bring in Cole Romdahl back in. 13 seconds, clock running down. Play clock and game clock about the same here. There's that fake again. Randall keeps it himself, and he'll be stopped short right at the line of scrimmage, maybe loses a half a yard. And that'll be the last play of the first quarter here. With one complete, Waukee 7, East 6. Waukee on the move here. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Back here at Waukee, we'll go to the second quarter. The Warriors leading 7-6. We got another drive going here. They scored 2 plays on the opening drive, came out, and then it was a lot of time of possession to East there, Laura, as they came down, missed the field goal, forced the punt, and then got in, scored, and then had the extra point block. And there's procedure again on Waukee.
I think Romdahl jumped the count just a little bit, and that's going to set them back. They were in a really good situation at 3rd and 2. Now it's going to be 3rd and 7.
Yep, so the third penalty here against Waukee, and second of the 5-yard version on this drive. Randall looks, now throws across high. And boy, outside of that first pass he hit, been thrown a little high here.
Looked like he was going for Zach Eaton, and he had him, but you're right, it was just a little too tall.
So 4th and 7. Well, they're going to bring the punt team out, I guess. Yep, Alex Walsh will come out. They waited a bit here, and I guess you're almost in the spot where if you take a 5-yard penalty, it doesn't hurt you here. It gives you a little more room to punt. But East doesn't have anybody back deep. They're kind of going to see what happens, and it's going to end up being all right. He kicks it through the end zone anyway. So it'll be 1st and 10.
You know, probably not a bad idea to not have somebody back just in case they may try a little trickeration,
yeah.
and try the fake punt, and so have as many players on the line to try to be able to shut that down. And if he kicks it into the end zone, which he did, then you get it at the 20.
Yeah, if you're going to kick it out of bounds, it's probably going to roll out either anyway, and the only thing that hurts you, maybe he drops one in there and it spins back, but then, you know, that's a gamble I guess you take. And here they come out with pretty good field position here, and got to like where they're sitting right now, trailing 7-6 in the second quarter. Corey Mills brings him out. Formation we've seen trips, and there's the handoff right up the middle. Davis, and he rips off 5-yard chunk there on 1st down.
Assisting was number 59, Cale Thorson.
Joe Morris right in there to plug up that hole. Otherwise, that was a lot of running room.
This time they'll put a slot on the right. Fake roll out and try to hit that slot, but threw it low to Matthew Scott. He was covered up pretty good out there, so he probably wasn't going to get much out of it.
I don't know if somebody maybe got a hand on it at the line of scrimmage.
And I don't know if it's a little wet. We've had some rain, you know, that field's probably got to be a little wet. That might be affecting the grip a little bit down there, and a little colder too. But now a big third down here for East. 3rd and 5 at the 25. For Des Moines East. And they want to talk this over, looks like. So we'll take a break here. Come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, East takes a timeout. 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 25 for East. Dropping back, looking, now scrambling, rolling, throws it upfield. Has a man caught up across the 30, out at the 32-yard line. Stephon Field catches it out there.
They flush him out of the pocket, but he kept his eyes downfield. Receiver came back and
helped
him out.
Very patient, wasn't he? He was moved a little bit, and he just waited and then tossed that out there and found Field. Field, the leading receiver as far as yardage, 319 yards and 5 touchdowns for Field on the season. Hand off to the big back up the middle. He plows ahead, Maurice Davis. And he's going to get just one that time. 2nd and 9 at the 32.
Short game. 2nd and
3-3 game, Southeast Polk at Centennial. Southeast Polk trying to bounce back from their second loss last week and trying to give Centennial their first loss. Paul Yeager on that game for us on CISN.TV. Down the line, fake the handoff, throw across the middle, has a man caught. I think that's Scott.
Bill's pass is complete to Matthew Scott.
Yep, up across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Well, we've seen a lot of throws out of Mills here, Laurie. He can throw that hard outside. He fired that bullet across the middle. He's got a good arm on him.
He does, and he's just very confident and very patient in the pocket.
1st and 10 at the 45 for East. They're starting to get a little drive together here.
And this is the second one they've put together as far as consuming clock.
Man Cubs in motion. They fake it to him, give it back to Davis. He plows up the middle, and this time met by that interior line there. They fake that inside handoff.
That's been tough going up the middle for East. They've tried it several times, have not been able to grind out many yards.
Caleb Paulus, the sophomore defensive end, in on the tackle on that time. 9:29 and counting here in the first half. East trailing 7-6. Double receivers to each side for Corey Mills. Drops back, looks, throws it out wide. Nice catch on the far sideline. Is he in? Yes. He got the feet down over there at the 38. Stephon Field again for a big catch out there.
Boy, Field just tiptoeing the sideline, and he goes up, stretches out for it, gets the foot down, and then falls out of bounds. Another big gain for the Scarlets.
And another rocket pass out there to the sideline.
Yeah, he's showing his arm strength here tonight.
Well, here comes East. 1st and 10 at the Waukee 38. Trailing by 1. Fake to Davis. Lobs it out the right side. Has a step on him. Can't get it there.
Pass intended for number 11, Jalen Long.
Look for Long. Eaton back there.
Again, just a route right down the sideline. Just try to loft it over the top of the defender and drop it in the bucket, and just a little too long.
And Eaton, probably their best defensive back. He's all over the field. We saw him in that Valley game swatting things down, and he is you're going to have to put it in the right place to get it over him usually. But second down and 10 at the 38 for East. Here's Mills. Hands it off. Maurice Davis plows up right through the middle. And well, to mix it up, they've been passing, and then that time the handoff right up the middle.
Those were hard-earned yards. Again, up the middle, very little room.
3rd and 6 here at the 34 for Des Moines East. Mills drops back. Wings it out, has a man. That's Stephon Field. And as he can see from here where they're marketed, is it?
I think he might just be short. Looks like it might
looks
be
like just
yard.
a little bit, yeah.
No, they're
going to give it to him. Okay, that was hard to tell with the bench over here where it was going to be, and then they moved it out there, and they're going to give it a first down and 10 up to the 24. For East.
And it was just enough yardage to get the first down sticks to move.
Well, here's a shocker. Urbandale leading Valley 10-7 in the second quarter. Probably not a shocker if you're a Jayhawk fan, but undefeated Valley. There's a fake handoff, and keeping himself spinning through there is Mills, and Mills drives it down to the 20-yard line.
But good job of pulling that back away and taking it right back up the middle. They
rode him a long time into that hole to see, and then you're right. And then he made that spin outside and got it down to the 20. 2nd and 2 here. They started this drive with 11:49 to go here in the second quarter. We're down under 8 minutes now. Dropping back, lobbing it over left side, and just over the head of Stephon Field over there. Looking, he's had a couple long connections to him, and that time just a little bit long, but he threw that place where the defender wasn't going to get to it. He didn't underthrow it. That's the key.
No, you got to put it in a spot where only your teammate can catch it, and he did that. Maybe could have used a little bit more air underneath that and allowed Field to run underneath it.
3rd and 2 at the 20-yard line for East. They bring an extra back there, the up back, hand it off right through the hole, and that'll be a first down. I think, is he up there?
Yeah,
I think he's there. He's got it.
You know, I was thinking if they didn't get it, they're definitely in two-down territory.
Yeah, two-down territory. With the kicking troubles they've had already tonight, missed a field goal and had an extra point block, you're thinking, yeah, this is two-down territory. So 1st and 10 at the 17 for East. They look to the sideline, get the play, fakes the handoff, now rolling through the end zone. Oh, just off the hands. Did he get a defender get a finger on that maybe?
Yes, he did. And
is that Eaton, I think?
I think it was Eaton that was there at the last minute, got his fingertips on it, and just deflected it enough that the catch could not be made.
Jalen Long was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10 at the 17. Well, East showing a lot of options in this offense. Hand it off, the quarterback can pass or run, and just really keeps that defense honest here. And now they run some guys in late. They'll send Field, send 2 receivers to each side. Dropping back, looking for the crossing over there, throw it out wide, and it's not quite there. They cross those 2 receivers on the outside, but couldn't get them free.
Matthew Scott was the receiver that was intended for. And
yeah, they had Field and Scott out there, and they kind of went down to about the 10 and crossed over, and they looked for him on that out, but couldn't quite get it there. So 3rd and 10 at the 17 here for East.
Well, again, you have to think 2 downs to pick up the 10 yards, and do you run it here and maybe pick up some yardage, or are you going to stick with the passing game?
Well, they'll go trips now to the right for Mills. Drops back, looking. Now he rolls, gets out of the pressure, cuts it upfield. He's got inside the 10. Not going to be a little short of the first down. Looked like he might have it easily, but then he got stopped. He's going to be a yard or so short.
The defense came up and made him change direction. Otherwise, he would have had the first down fairly easily.
Yeah. So it'll be 4th and 2 at the 9. We'll see whether they're going to go for it, or they missed one field goal here already, wide. It looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 2 at the 9-yard line. 6.5 to play in the first half. And a little jump pass over the top and just slapped away there by the defense. And was that Nick Barretto? I think the linebacker got a hand on that. Yep. Looking for that little jump dump over the top. And good call, but the linebacker reacted perfectly, Laura.
Yeah, read it perfectly, and Mills got that snap and took a few steps, kind of crouched down to get in behind the offensive line, and then just jumped up and tried to make that connection on the jump pass, and good defense by Waukee.
And breaking free over the left side. Out across is Lindquist, as they pop out of there with a big play right away to answer after forcing the turnover on downs.
And that's what Waukee needed, was a play like that. They were deep in their own territory. They needed to get out, and Lindquist found that hole over there on the left side.
We've got an injury timeout here for an East player.
Having a hard time.
Can't see who it is there. He's kind of blocked.
And it looks like he might be cramping up. Even though it's cold out there, it looks like they're working on him to try to get some cramps out of those legs.
Yeah. That's 15.
Cedric Warren.
Now you can still, even in this colder weather, well, Southeast Polk was taking the lead 10-3 against Centennial.
Yeah, that'll be one to keep our eye on.
1st and 10 Warriors.
And Waukee comes out 1st and 10 at the 27. He leads 7-6 after taking it back on downs from East. East drove down to the 9, couldn't get it in. And there's a handoff, a lot of room there over the right side for Lindquist, the running back. We're seeing those big heavies up front for Waukee, Laura, kind of making some holes against this East line.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of getting the push off the offensive line, and Lindquist, everything was moving to the left side. He just waited a count and came back over to the right side where he had a lot of running room.
2nd and 2. Randall drops back under pressure, wings it out there, and it's going to go out of bounds. He had Odell down the sideline, but couldn't get it to him.
Too much pressure. He just had to get rid of that. Didn't want to take a sack there.
Tyler Woodyard was right back there for East. He leads them. He's got 3 interceptions on the season. So 3rd and 2 here at the 35. This would be a big stop for East if they could hold Waukee here and get the ball back. Hand off. Lindquist, he's got room over the left side. Breaks it free up to the 45. He's going to get the first down. And Woodyard on the tackle for East.
And there was certainly a lot of contact, but Lindquist refused to go down.
We'll mark it at the 44 of Waukee. Randall pitches it over. Looking for room, cuts it right up, cuts it back inside is Espelin, and he'll pick up about 12 for the first down. It's kind of a weird pitch. They're so close together. Almost a forward pass on that, seems like.
Yeah, it looked like it was more of a forward pass than a pitch, but good blocking out front by Romdahl. He took on a defender and just kept shoving him backwards.
Under 5 minutes now to play here in the first half. Waukee driving again, leading 7-6. Double slots, one comes in motion across the formation. Handed off right up the middle, and he cuts it outside. Looking for room is Lindquist, and then about when he was getting up ahead of steam, he's met there and brought down, but still gets about 6 or 7 on the carry.
Well, again, everything was moving towards the right. He sees it to the left and cuts it back that way. Picks up a few extra yards before the defense converges.
2nd and 4 at the 37. Fakes the handoff. Randall keeps it himself. Cuts it outside. 25 and is pulled down as he gets inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for Waukee.
Well, Waukee putting together a long drive of their own with a lot of mix of pass and run, and mainly on the run, eating up chunks of yardage.
They've eaten up about 2.5 minutes of the clock here as we go under 4 minutes. Looking for room over the right side, kind of went in his way and then brought down over there. Zach Eaton on the carry. Maurice Davis on the tackle.
Getting action both defense and offense.
And 2nd and 8 at the 21. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, dodges in and inside the 15. Down to the 14 and be a couple yards shy of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and short for Waukee as we're approaching 3 minutes to play in the first half. They're up by 1. Well, a stop here would be big for East if you can hold them out of the end zone, maybe hold them to a field goal. 3rd and 1 for Waukee. Hands off to Lindquist. He plows up through the middle. Is going to get the first down.
Well, Randall did a good job at getting that low snap up off the ground and able to get the handoff to Lindquist.
It looked like Lindquist kind of waited a little bit, too. They got a little better timing. A couple times early on, they kind of ran into each other, but getting used to the rhythm now. So 1st and 10 at the 12 for Waukee. And off to the deep back. Lindquist plows into the middle, still moving and pushing, and looking a little bit like Maurice Davis running that time.
Trying to move the pile. Just straight handoff up the middle. They open up the hole, and then he moves the defenders back a couple of more yards.
Picks up 5, 2nd and 5 at the 7 for Waukee. At full house backfield again. Turns, gets it to the deep back. He's trying to cut over to the right side, lunges to the 1. Or it'll be 1st and goal from the 1 yard line for Waukee. And they're going to come up to the line quickly here.
And East is not ready. The official finally gets out of the way.
And tripped up. In the backfield, that was Zach Truitt, the sophomore. Gets through there and tripped up the rhythm on that.
2nd and goal.
2nd and goal, 2.
Yeah, East was still bringing in personnel, and the official stepped away from the ball and didn't seem like they were ready, but they did a nice job of getting through the line and stopping him behind the line of scrimmage.
Randall down the line, hands it off, plowing into the line. Is he across? No signal yet. Nope, they're saying he's not in there. Is he? Touchdown. Finally, they give the signal. They waited and finally said, yeah, he's across. With 1:03 to play in the first half, a 2-yard run.
Now they had to umpile all the bodies, and he was just right on the goal line for the touchdown.
KJ then to attempt the extra point.
Here's the high snap. The kick is a wobbler, but it's through.
And the kick is good by
And that'll make it 14-6.
off of the nice hold.
Waukee with 1:03 to play here
And that makes the score Waukee
in the first half.
26.
And
Waukee just a long sustained drive of their own. Used up most of that second quarter once they got possession back. And
yeah, they started at the 9-yard line, so they went 91 yards. They got it with 6:24. So they used up 5:21 on that drive. Drive it down there and widen it to an 8-point lead. But for East, you're still one score here.
still have a lot of time. I mean, we've seen him move the ball down the field pretty quickly and on the arm of Mills.
And those quick out passes, too, are good. What you need here when the clock.
Right,
They
and
got a couple timeouts.
Work the sidelines.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jaden to kick it off. He'll squib it up the field, taken by the up man, looking for somewhere to run with it. Cuts it over, up across the 40, up to the 43. Deshaun Jubo.
That ball went off he kicked it right into one of the up men, and it bounced right off of him to Jibu, and he took it the other way looking for a hole.
But that was a good job because he's got him in pretty good field position here. 1st and 10 at the 48 with 56.6 seconds to play.
And a couple timeouts.
Here comes Corey Mills. Send two receivers to each side. Drop straight back. Cross the middle, has his man. Down to the 41. That's Isaiah Dameron.
They're going to hurry it up. They don't want to use the timeouts. They've got the first down. The clock stops. They're getting them to the line.
1st and 10 at the Waukee 42. They roll the clock with 51 and a half seconds to play. Dropping back, looking for that out route. Now he'll run it up the middle, Mills. And, yeah, here's where they may have to use that timeout. They do. Stop the clock with 41.2 seconds to play.
Thought they might be able to catch him sleeping, thinking pass. And if you come back on that quarterback draw and wait for everybody to run by you, you might have that opening to be able to get a lot of yards.
And knowing that you got two timeouts, it's no problem to run up the middle at least once and try that, because if he breaks it, then you got a chance to, as you say, get upfield. Now, the kicking situation has not been the best for them. They've missed a field goal and had an extra point block. But, you know, you get one in the end zone here, and you feel a lot better going into the half. I mean, they got to feel pretty good right now. I mean, Waukee comes out 2 plays, and that first drive goes down the field, and you're thinking, man, we're in for a long night. But they came right back and responded, had a drive of their own after the missed field goal, then came back and had a drive they put in the end zone. So for East, got to feel good where they're at here, at least at this point, with 41.2 seconds to play. 2nd and 8 at the 40. Dropping back, hit as he throws, and it goes a little high. And he is down. Mills took a hard shot there. And
he's throwing to Fields, and Fields slipped, and he's coming up limping a little bit.
Man, you kind of wondered if he'd been able to follow through on that. They get it out there in pretty good position up the field. Well, they come back over here. 3rd down and 8 at the 40. Mills dropping back, looking, throws, and it's tipped and almost intercepted. Tipped at the line.
Was it Cole Spikesma that got the hands up?
Deflected by number 41, Cole Spikesma.
Yep, you're right. And
Fourth down, Scarlets.
the linebacker. Well, let's see. You're at the 40. Fourth down. I suppose trailing wouldn't hurt to go for it here.
You got the prevent defense for Waukee.
Well, we're going to see that little quarterback punt again. Last time it went off a Waukee player. This time they get away from it, and it takes a bad east bounce and bounces back down to the 26-yard line. So just played it safe. I thought they might just try to dump it over in front of that prevent and get out of bounds. But we'll see if Waukee just runs it out here. War comes back. Takes a shot. I got a feeling they're going to be happy to go in with what they're at here, but I don't know. They send two receivers to the left, and then Randall will keep it himself. Up across the 30, gets out of bounds.
And they've had a lot of luck with the running game, so might as well stay with that. If they don't wrap up and they don't tackle, somebody could go the distance.
Especially Randall. We've seen him turn a little run where he gets outside and with his speed turn it into a big gainer up the field. 2nd and 7 at the 29. Randall takes a low snap, and that kind of hampered things there, I think, because that time he had to pick it off the turf and get it to Lindquist, and by the time he did that, the defenders are back in there, and that will probably wrap up the first half as the clock will wind down here. And they'll head to the locker room. 14-6, Waukee over East. We'll take a break. We'll come back and recap the first half scoring and then talk a little bit about what's coming up here on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event featuring new 18 Silverado Double Cab LTs. Power lease, $259 per month lease. Power price, $32,490. New 18 Silverado Crew Cabs. Power lease, $429 per month lease. Power price, $36,490. Over 170 Traverse, Equinox, and Trax available. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. Schottenkirk Chevy, Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Welcome back to Waukee. We're at halftime here. The Warriors leading Des Moines East 14-6. A run down the first half scoring for you here quickly. Waukee got the opening, took the ball at their, 34. They went to 66 yards in 2 plays. The final was Randall on the run, 13 yards. He threw a deep pass to Odell, and then got it down to the 13. Then Randall took himself in from 13 yards out with 11:39 to play. Extra point was good, and it was 7-0. East came down on their drive, got it down and missed a field goal. Then came down, and it was a 4th down play. They came out like they were going to go for it. Then the quarterback punted it short, and it came went off a Waukee player, and they got it about the 35. They take it in, then Jalen Long, 30-yard pass. The kick extra point was blocked, and it was 7-6 with 2:47 to play in the first period. 7-6 Waukee leading. Then Waukee here toward the end of the first half, they went on a long drive there. They get first a 91-yard drive down and ended up scoring on a 2-yard Lindquist run with the 1:03 to play. The extra point was good, and that makes it 14-6 here, Laura. So really for East on the road, you start out and you give up 2 plays and a touchdown, but then you come right back. So you got to be pleased going in, only down 14-6. They've had a couple drives, just unable to complete those and convert them. They ended up down here, down around the 20 where they had to give it up. And so, overall, got to be pleased with the score so far here on the road.
Yeah, I think because you could easily hung your head after 2 plays. You're down 7-0 already, right to start the football game. But they came right back, and I've been impressed with the amount of time that they have eaten off the clock and sustained drives, doing it with a nice mix of running and passing, mixing things up. And I'm impressed with Mills at the quarterback. He's got a cannon for an arm, and he's pinpoint, and he's doing a great job of finding his receivers. He doesn't panic. So they're staying in the ball game, and they really haven't had a whole lot of mistakes. They just haven't been able to pick up some crucial first downs.
And for Waukee, it seems like that defense, when they've gotten a little pressure on the quarterback, it's helped them there. It's tough with Mills because he's got that run-pass option, and then they've been handed it off, too, inside to the big running back. So they've multifaceted there. But defensively, you got to be pleased that they've had a couple long drives, but you've only given up 6 points, too, for Waukee's defense.
They've made some key plays, too, at crucial times. The defensive line and the linebackers have been able to get their hands up, get the hands on some of those passes. Because
you think that jump pass down here, where, they get that, and they maybe got a 1st and goal and a chance to go in and score.
They've come up with a couple of big ones defensively. Waukee has to shut down the drives, and you're right. Going back to that one, that was a huge play, I think, defensively, because they were right there knocking on the door, and East couldn't push it in and turn the ball over on downs.
So key district matchup here tonight as Waukee looks to go 2-0 in the district. East trying to get even in district play. Another score, we had Valley leading Urbandale 14-10 in the second quarter. So a good battle there. Valley undefeated, but Urbandale coming in. And haven't got an update on Southeast Polk, but that game was
last we heard they were ahead, right?
Yeah, they were ahead 10-3. The Rams were ahead in the second quarter over Centennial, another undefeated team there and in district play. And I kind of like that, too, the motivation here. You might start out and you lose a few games early, but you get into that district play, and if you can go through that district and win that district, you still get that automatic bid. So teams like East, now they've dropped one here, but, Southeast Polk, they dropped one too. But if you could come back and win out in the district, you got a chance to still get in.
Yeah, I like the way it's set up, and you do have the opportunity, even though if you had a tough schedule up front, which, Waukee did have a very tough schedule up front. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so now an opportunity for them to make some noise in district play, and again for East as well. If they can knock off some of the people in their district, then they can get into the playoffs themselves. So I like the way it's set up with the RPI rankings and all those numbers, and the number crunchers are really happy because it gives them something to do when you get to the end of the season to figure out who's in and who's out. And so
I know coaches probably too, they're sitting there, looking at all the RPI and win-losses and that, and because as a coach, you always say, well, it's the next game, and you don't want to look at the other scores, but sometimes you'd have to because you see what these other teams are doing, and if, you beat a team with, say you beat East here tonight, and then they go on and win 3 games, that helps your RPI. You're kind of watching all those scores with the RPI and things and how they go.
There's a lot of factors that play into it, and some of the things are out of your control. So I think first and foremost, going back to what your coaches are telling you, let's just worry about the game that we can take care of and we can control, and that's here tonight. And so both those coaches in the locker room at halftime trying to make some adjustments so they can win this ball game.
So the scoreboard up there says 10-10 at the half, Southeast Polk and Waukee. Dowling 15-0 in the second quarter over Des Moines Lincoln. Johnston 42-6 over Ottumwa there. And then let's see, Indianola 14-0 over Mason City. Some of the other scores you see scrolling across on the scoreboard here. So we're at halftime, 14-6, Waukee leading Des Moines East. We're going to take another break. We'll come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
We're here at halftime at Waukee. Dar Danielson, Laura Leonard, and it's 14-6 Waukee over Des Moines East. And the game seemed like it's gone fairly quickly too. I mean, a little passing by East, but we've seen a lot of running too, and some good running out of both these backs here for these two teams. Good, hard, straight ahead running, Laura.
Yeah, very impressive by both running backs, and I think the thing that's I like the most is they are not going down on first contact. They are putting their head down, and they're having to be gang tackled. They keep those legs driving, and they're gaining 2, 3, 4 yards sometimes even after the first contact. And so they're making the most out of it. And sometimes you can break through some of those tackles if you keep the legs driving. And that's what some of these running backs have done here in this ballgame.
And I've also been impressed by Corey Mills and Mitch Randall. They both have made some good decisions, when to pass, when to run. Both are a dual threat that way, and that really keeps the defense a little honest at times.
Yeah, it does, and they're both doing a really good job of reading what the defense is giving them. And we saw a couple instances where I think it was Mills was able to keep the ball in the belly of the running back and then pull it out at the last minute and go the other way and gain significant yardage. And so I think it's just a good job by both quarterbacks of being able to run the offense and keep their offense on the field.
Looking at some of the other games tonight, we talked about at Southeast Polk at Ankeny Centennial. That was tied up at the half. Valley leading Urbandale 14-10 at the half. The other District 6 games, Mason City is at Indianola. Indianola was leading that. Ottumwa at Johnston. In the other games in this district, then we give you those other scores. So interesting as you get into district play here, and the winner of the district gets the automatic bid, and then you have that RPI that determines, the formula that determines the next set of teams that gets in. And I think they're probably still going to be somewhere where there'll be a team that's got a better record that doesn't get in. Every system, it always seems like it ends up that way, but at least there's a formula and a more of an idea, I think, of what you're looking at and how you can get in.
Well, I don't think there's ever going to be the perfect system to get all the right teams in, and if somebody can come up with that system, they're going to be famous and they're going to make a lot of money, because it's just tough to do and to try to make sure you're getting all the right teams into district play or into the playoffs. And I think they're on the right track, and we'll see how it all plays out here this season, and see if anybody's complaining that you're right. There's always going to be that one team that they're going to say, boy, we had that winning record, but we didn't get in. Why?
Yeah, but it also rewards you, too, if you're playing some of these other teams. You can go out and play somebody with a better record, and if you play them close, it doesn't hurt you as much as if, you just mow through a bunch of teams that aren't as good and don't play as good a schedule.
Right. And then so they factor all that in, and I think that's a good thing. They look at strength of schedule and records against opponents and opponents' and all of that. So there's a lot of numbers involved and a lot of formulas involved, but I think at this point in the season and this point with these teams, it's probably the best way to go about it and see how it works for everybody. And if you need to tweak it to start next season, then so be it. But otherwise, I think it's a good system.
We're at halftime here, 14-6, Waukee over Des Moines East. The Waukee band out there performing here at halftime. We're going to take another break. We'll do that, and we'll come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Here at Waukee, we're at halftime. Waukee ahead of Des Moines East 14-6. Quick look at the rankings coming in. Valley, of course, undefeated, number 1 in both the Register and Radio Iowa poll. Cedar Falls, number 2. Centennial, number 3. Bettendorf. Then Dowling, there's only switch in Radio Iowa, Iowa City West and Dowling. Johnson at number 7. A little bit of difference there with Iowa City West and Johnson, but pretty much Indianola, Prairie, Fort Dodge is in the Register poll. It's Waukee, number 8 here in the Radio Iowa poll, Cedar Rapids, Prairie, and Indianola. And then when you look at the RPI, Ankeny Centennial, the top RPI, then Cedar Falls is right there with them. Indianola right up at number 3 in the RPI, and then Valley, Fort Dodge, Iowa City West, Johnston, Bettendorf, Prairie, Cedar Rapids, and then Marshalltown is right up there too at number 10 in the RPI. So it's always kind of interesting to look at that. And you look at Waukee when talking about their record. The teams they played are 20-16. So they played some tough games here. They let one slip away against Waukee there, but I think they got to have the confidence to know, with some. They play it right, play a good game, a cleaner game. I think they had a few penalties, and then they had a punt blocked, I think, in that game too. And so, Waukee's got to feel they could be in any game they're in.
Yeah, they just have to take care of business, and they did. And I think early at the beginning of the season, the first game, we talked to Jim Dewey, the activities director here, and he said, that we have a tough schedule to start the season. We have 3 really tough schools that we have to play, and they lost a lot of kids from last year, graduated a lot of kids, and so they're just trying to find their way, and each and every game they've just gotten better. And so now they're in a situation in district play, if they can take care of business and win it, they're going to be in. They don't have to worry about the RPI.
And then again, we saw a little bit here tonight, clean up those issues with the punt that was kicked and went off them, and they turned it over. They had that 15-yard penalty down there, unsportsmanlike, that moved it back and gave East a little better field position. And then they had a couple, motion penalties there. Clean that up a little bit. That kind of helped East kind of stay in it a little bit here, too, in the first half. So some of those things I know Coach Carlson will want to, harp on that again, is clean up some of those mistakes.
Yeah, as you go on through the season, you want to see fewer and fewer penalties and things that don't put you behind the chains or put you in situations where you're deep in your own territory or you allow your opponent to be deep in your territory. You just want to try to have penalty-free game if you can. That's tough to do sometimes, but you don't want to have those penalties at an inopportune time. And they've had a couple of mistakes at those inopportune times, and East has tried to take advantage of it. And they did one time. They got into the end zone. missed the field goal on the other one.
For East, yeah, their coach, he's got to be saying, hey, let's go and finish those drives. They had a couple there. They missed the field goal, and then they had the one down here. They had to turn it over on downs where they're, you get inside the red zone. You need to get points on the board on those.
Yeah, you do. When you're knocking on the door, you got to be able to cash in. And they took a little bit of a gamble by going for it on fourth down, but you look back on the kicking issues that they had in the first quarter, you kind of thought, okay, we got to go for it here. We don't want to take the 3 points. We want to cash in and get the 6. And it was just good defense by Waukee to snuff out that drive.
I wonder if I call down, do they have delivery? I get hot chocolate delivered up from the concession stand. I talked to Jim Dewey about that, see if that's an option.
Get a double order, will you?
Yeah, I imagine this is one of those nights where you sell a lot more hot chocolate. And
absolutely.
Can't complain too much about the weather through the first part of the season has been, great. Really with a little rain here and there, but not bad football weather, and starting to get a chill in the air, and which is normal as you head to the end of September and that. So, but should be interesting. Now East deferred, took the ball to start the game, so Waukee will get it coming out. So East has got to stop those long drives that they had at the end of the half, and then to start the game, they got to come out and get a stop right away and try to another score ups it to 2 scores here, and you don't want to let Waukee get that far out.
Yeah, I think East has got to get the momentum right away, whether it's a big defensive play, a big offensive play. They've got to have some kind of momentum shift over to their sideline so they can take advantage of that and try to get a quick score if they can, or make a big play in some fashion to get them into the ball game and mentally get them into the ball game.
And they've been close. You got to credit again Waukee's defense. He's thrown a couple of those passes, were just over the head of the receiver, and Zach Eaton, one of those guys back there, great on coverage, and then the linebacker knocked down that jump pass the one time. So they got to find one of those plays that they hit, and we've seen he's got the arm to lob it out there. Corey Mills, we've seen him throw the out route, we've seen him throw it deep down the field, and accuracy, and then of course Mitch Randall has had a good night too also.
Yeah, both quarterbacks have looked really good, and I think the thing that's impressive with Mills is he just has that great touch. He's able to get enough air underneath his passes. His receivers can run underneath it. He throws to spots. He's got the receivers running the great routes, and he's hitting them in stride.
I saw last week that Fort Dodge was probably the most precision passing game I've seen there, but these East Mills and his receivers, they seem to be on a, at this point in the season, halfway through, they're have that read a little bit of where they're going to be and where he's going to put it. Now the defense has been good, but they seem to have that rhythm down too, and where he's going to put the ball.
And that comes with working together in the off season and doing a little bit of extra work after practice, and just getting that rapport with your receivers, and just innately knowing where you want to catch the ball, where you're going to run the route. The quarterback knows where you're to put it, and so the receivers can get to it, run underneath it.
And for you got to give a tip of the cap too to Alex Lindquist tonight coming in. Sam Yeway injured. He comes in to that backfield, and he's done a real good job. The sophomore stepping up and giving them a viable, real good option there at running back tonight.
Boy, he's looked really good, and he's doing a good job at the line of scrimmage, deciding which hole he's going to go through, and he's kind of waiting, picking and choosing, and we've seen a little misdirection, if you will, where the offensive line goes one way and he starts to flow that way and then sees it back the other way and cuts it back to the opposite side and has been able to churn out a few yards that way.
Well, both teams back out here warming up, getting ready to start the second half, and we mentioned it earlier in this district. Let me flip back to my district page here. Coming into tonight, Indianola, Johnston, and Waukee all won the openers. So East, Mason City, and Ottumwa playing a game down here tonight, and so far all three of those have been trailing from the scores. And Indianola, a little bit of a surprise. They've come out to start the season at 5-0, and they've really played well. We'll see as they get into it here when they play Johnston and Waukee and how they do, as they step up a little bit in that competition. It'll be interesting to see how they come out with that.
Well, they certainly have the game to be able to hang with them, and it just is a matter of putting things together.
So clock winding down, getting ready here to start the second half. Run down the scoring again quickly for you here from the first half. Waukee, 2 plays. They went 66 yards on the opening drive. Randall ran it in from 13 yards out with 11:39 to play in the first quarter. Made it 7-0 after the PAT. Jalen Long took a 30-yard pass with 2:47 to go in the first quarter. PAT was blocked, and it was 7-6 Waukee over East. Then Waukee right before the end of the half here, 1:03 to go. Lindquist pounds it up the middle for a 2-yard touchdown run. PAT was good there by Cade Jaden, and he is now 13 out of 13 PATs on the season. And East will come out, and they will kick it off here.
Oh, they're receiving, it looks like.
They're receiving?
Yeah, Waukee got the opening 2 plays and scored off the opening kickoff.
But didn't they, I thought they, well, that's right, they deferred. Okay. I was thinking Waukee won, but yeah, they deferred, so they get the kick. Okay. One of these days I'll learn the rules here, figure out what happens when you defer. Yeah.
And you look out on the field, and they're making sure they both sit up on the wrong end.
Wrong side, so they're switching sides. Yeah. Okay. So Waukee will kick it off. I was thinking, that's right, they got it after they deferred. So this could be a big drive, opening drive to open the second half here for East. As Jaden will come out. Tyler Woodyard is the deep man at the 5 for Des Moines East. They're in the white with the red pants. And here's the kick. Bouncer. Woodyard tries to pick it up, bobbles ahead to the, now across the 20, 25, 30, spins through 35, 40, 45, 51 man, and he's pulled down at the 43-yard line. Wow.
Just that little bobble.
Sometimes, yeah, the guy's running down. You always see that. They kind of bobble a little bit, and everybody's running down, and they slow, and he picked it up and took off. So East will start out in great field position in Waukee territory.
Yeah, sometimes the kicking team just relaxes just enough when they see that bobble down there on the receiving side, and all of a sudden that runner is right by him.
So Corey Mills will bring him out. 1st and 10. Keeps it himself, looking for room, trying to get outside, and he keeps going sideways, but can't break free of the tacklers to get ahead.
Tackled for a loss by number 41, Cole Spikesmith.
Cole Spikesmith in there, the linebacker, on the tackle.
Hollis assisting number 84.
2nd and 15, back to the 49 for Des Moines East.
Not the way you want to start this opening drive, be behind the chains.
And looks quick out and off the hands of Matthew Scott. Looks like that defensive line was stunted a little bit there, Laura. They're trying to get in and get a little pressure and fool up the East line there as they kind of crisscross as they came at it, trying to get a little pressure, I think, on Mills here to start the second half. So far, it's worked.
Throwing a few different looks at him. You know, Mills was so comfortable in the pocket in the first half, really didn't get flushed a whole lot.
Yeah, he just stood back there and waited and picked out his receiver. And if he did have to move, it was a couple steps right or left. So here's a big 3rd and 15 at the 49. Takes the snap, pressure, lobs it out down the right side. Oh, just over the outstretched hands of the receiver. Stephon Field out there, his favorite receiver, a leading receiver for East with 5 touchdowns. And that one just over the outstretched fingers.
But they've run that play several times and just have only hit it once. Keep going back to it.
They've been more successful sending him on the out route. They did hit it Was that the touchdown they hit him on that go route? I think, yeah. They hit it once for the touchdown, but just right over the fingers here, and now we'll see what they do if they come out.
Well, we've seen him quick kick.
We've seen him punt it. Looks like they're going to punt it again. Mills will just punt it down there, and it's going to get a good roll for him inside the 10 down to the 8.
Number 17 rolls dead at the Waukee 8. That's where the Warriors begin first drive of the second half. First and 10.
So Waukee will take over.
Waukee has been in this position starting at their own 9 or 8. They used to have that long 91-yard drive.
Yep.
And so we've seen him in this position rip off a long run with Lindquist out of the backfield.
So Mitch Randall brings them out for their first possession here on offense. Oh, high snap. He does a great job to catch that. And Randall one-handed that snap. Otherwise, that might be in the end zone for a safety.
Boy, that's great reaction time to be able to go up and grab that in this cold weather with one hand and then able to complete the play, get the handoff to Lindquist.
Well, and then he gets 6 yards on it up to the 14. Randall again. Slot comes in motion. He rolls under pressure, slips the tackle, throws it out, has a man out there for the first down.
Had a defender right around his ankles and able to stay upright and make that throw downfield.
I think that was it Devon Elliott, I think maybe, was in there on the pressure. It's first and 10, though, for Waukee at the 31. And off to Espelin. Espelin looping out the left side, turns it up. He'll get the first down and a little bit more. They're going to mark him right at the – no, they're going to give him an extra yard with that, so it'll be first and 10 for Waukee. And Espelin will come out. First and 10 at the 42. Fakes the handoff inside, rolls right, throws it deep and just over the head of the receiver out there. Eaton was the man. And
Waukee's starting to throw the ball a little bit more here to start the third quarter.
Jaheim Benson back there defending for East. So it brings up a second and 10 at the 42. Sends a slot back across the formation, hands it off, Lindquist, and he's going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
The front line of East right in there, read that, and dropped Lindquist for a loss and going to set up third and long now.
Third and 13 at the 42 for Waukee. They send 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left for Mitch Randall. Fakes it, now throws it on that slant across the middle, and he's going to pull him ahead and get the first down. Is that Eaton? As I say, I thought it was Eaton, but
Eaton's got such great hands, catches that ball up above his head and braces himself for the hit.
Big pickup as he wasn't quite there, but drugged the tacklers up across for the first down. Pressure now on the late blitz, and he had to get rid of it there as Deshaun Fugate was coming in and wasn't able to get it far enough downfield. He had a guy open down there, but couldn't get it away.
A little underthrown as well, and too far to be able to come back. It looked like Sam Odell was the intended receiver, and he had to turn one way and then turn back the other way and couldn't turn around and find the ball.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out, hits the man on the run, and he'll be knocked out. No, he's going to step out short of the marker. He went out over first down yardage, but Romdahl stepped out before that, but gets half of it. So bring up 3rd and 5 for Waukee.
They've been able to convert 3rd downs here during this drive.
3rd and 5.
Randall brings him up. Pitches it. And can he break free? No. Defenders are right there to run him down.
Number 49 on the carry, Alex.
And number 12 was one of them, I think, wasn't it?
Well, Maurice Davis was in there with the tackle behind the line.
And Tristan Bush was also in there. So a big stop for East. As they bring on Alex Walsh to punt. High snap, he handles it. And luckily for Waukee, they didn't have much pressure on that, and they're going to let it roll all the way down to about the 2-yard line. But Walsh had to do a good job to go high and pick that high snap off.
He made the adjustment right away and knew he had to kick it quick, but got the friendly bounce, and now East going to have a long field and going to have to drive 98 yards to try to tie this ball game up.
We might see a few gives to Maurice Davis here, deep to try to get it out of there. All that defensive line of Waukee, Caleb Paulus, Jacob Martin, Connor Arndt, and Alex Wiggins have been pretty stiffened up a little bit in the middle there after Davis was running hard early on. And they dive for it. Is the ball loose? There's a big pile up. And touchdown Waukee off the fumble.
But right from the beginning, there was trouble with that play as Mills could not handle the snap and make the kick or the handoff cleanly.
Nicholas Barreto, they say, recovered it in the end zone. And Waukee showed some pressure, and that just kind of, everything just...
Well, they showed the pressure with the linebackers, and then I think that just caught East off guard, and then the snap came, and Mills just had trouble handling it.
And penalty down before they can get the kickoff here. The extra point kick.
Illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution on East.
Illegal substitution.
And
against East, that's declined. Kate Jaden to attempt this extra point.
here's the kick. Is good.
And the kick is good by Kate Jaden. Off of the hold of Alex.
And that makes it 21-6 here, Waukee. We'll take a break, come back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Back here at Waukee. Well, Laura, how big was that play by Alex Walsh, the punter? High snap, he goes and gets it, then punts it down. It rolls down to the 2. The next play, they force the fumble in the end zone and get the turnover. If that gets over his head, gets by him, it's a whole other ball game there. East could have the ball in great field position there, but it ends up turning into a score for Waukee.
Yeah, great save, great athletic move to be able to hang on to that high snap and then get the bounce And his teammates get down there and surround it and down it at the 2, and then they're able to force the touchdown.
Kick bounces at the 20, taken up the sideline, 35-40, cuts back inside and is tackled there. Jalen Long just about broke that one. And now he stays down on the turf after the tackle. Aiden Ward on the tackle. Long went down hard, I don't know, on his arm.
Teammates got him up quickly.
Yeah. He's in a little pain there coming over, but, man, he cut back inside and was a man away from busting it all the way back here.
Well, both kickoffs, East has done a really good job of putting themselves in good field position to start their drive.
They take over 1st and 10 at the 42. Handoff. And Davis
on the carry.
gets about 3. So that was a big swing there where they had it down at the 2 and fumbled it. And now up at the 45, 2nd and 7. With the 7 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter, find themselves trailing now by 15. Scott goes in motion across. Handoff, looking for room. He's patient up there, but just not a big enough hole as Davis gets a couple, maybe one, on the carry.
Now you put yourself in a probable passing down, and knowing that, you have to believe that Waukee is going to maybe come after him, show a little pressure, maybe.
Well, that defensive line has shown a little more pep here in the second half. They've really come at Mills and put a little more pressure on him and kind of forced the hand a little bit more. Here they come again. Throws it down the sideline and just a little long again. Looking over there for Scott, or excuse me, Field.
Well, that seems to be their go-to pass play, that they have that little sideline go route where they just try to loft the ball to Fields and see if he can run underneath it. And they've just been out of the reach of his fingertips. They haven't been able to connect.
They maybe need to try to pull somebody up underneath that, because Fields, he takes everybody with him downfield. Yeah. Maybe send somebody across then short on that, because that is, and we'll see. Now, again, Mills has been punting here. We'll see if they do it again with 4th and 6 at their own 46. Or will they go for it? Looks like they're going to go for it. Throws a quick out, caught. That'll be a first down.
Boy, just right at the sticks, too.
Stephon Field caught it. So,
Aaron Smith made the tackle, number 5. First down, Scarlet.
Well, he certainly is Mills' favorite receiver. He does like to go to Fields, and he was right there, knew exactly how many yards he needed, set up right there, and just planted himself and caught the ball.
1st and 10 at the 47. And there's a fumble. There's a botched handoff there, and they're going to lose yardage on that.
Yeah, I think it was on the snap, and Mills did not have a chance to really pull that one in. It was a little too high and off to the side.
Davis trying to get in there and get on it, and then so they lose 5 on that. And just not the rhythm here we saw that they had in the offense in the first half. Trips down to the left. Drops back, pressure, lobs it out again. And there's a flag down over there. This time it could be pass interference on that far side. If that is, that'll be a first down.
Mills felt that pressure coming up the middle, and he just lofted it down the sidelines, and I think it's either going to be defensive hold or pass interference.
Interference is a call.
Pass interference against Waukee.
5:14 to play here, 3rd quarter. Waukee up 21-6. We're going to mark this one off. It'll be a first down. Down at the 37 of Waukee.
Swallowed the penalty, first down Scarlets. Milwaukee 37.
Well, here again, East has got to finish a drive. They haven't been able to do that here. And there's a fumble snap, and he has a fall on it. And there's a flag down.
Penalty flag on the
Comes in late.
Covered by Corey Mills. Holding Moines East.
Holding on East.
I think you declined this.
Yeah, you almost do, because that's almost more than 10 yards, isn't it, where the ball's back there? See, back at the 49, they're at the 37. That's 12 yards.
Well, and then it'd be second down
Then
instead of,
yeah, you lose the down plus
Yeah.
12 yards, yeah. I can do the math on that one, even if you decline it. Yep,
Yeah.
they will. And so it'll bring up second and long. Second and 22 at the 37. So this defense is just, and now you see them, wholesale changes in there defensively for Waukee, bringing in some fresh people, and they're just keeping the pressure up here. And Mills, he had all day in the first half to sit back there and find his receivers, but now he's been harassed the whole time. You see him standing up, wings it out there, caught, trying to turn upfield and quickly stop.
Pass is complete.
Is
Corey
Mills.
Number 13, Isaiah
Or Dameron, excuse me, caught it. They're kind of running a little bit of that, what Iowa runs, that Raider package, where they all stand up and kind of makes it harder on the linemen to pick out where they're going and who to block, I think.
Yeah, and you've got your third and long, so you got to pick up about half of it here and figure you're going to go for it on fourth.
Mills dropping back. A little time this time. Throws it out. Left side. Caught. Is it in? Is he in bounds? Well, they're going to say field. Yes. They were waiting, and finally the referee says he had it, and Mills is still down over there, or field down over there. As he caught it down at the 6.
He stayed in. I thought he got underneath it and kept the foot in bounds.
I did too, yeah. And then this official was coming down the field, and he was looking to the middle official there, I think, to see if it was a catch. He was watching the out of bounds, and field is still down there off the field as they connected.
He's grabbing his left arm, it looks like.
Well, he kind of got bumped out, maybe came down awkwardly on that. That'd be too bad. He's been one of the main targets there for Corey Mills. And while they're working on him, let's take a break. We'll do that and be back after this on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Well, after the deep pass, it'll be first and goal at the 6 for Des Moines East. There's a handoff to the running back. He plows ahead, still trying to go, and he's going to be stopped after maybe lost a yard there. Maurice Davis. And Centennial's taking their first lead of the game, 17-10 over Southeast Polk, with 1:13 left to go in the third quarter. And another game you can see here on CISN.TV. So 2nd and 7. Second goal at the 7. Rolling out, throwing, short, touchdown, East.
That's Matthew Scott, who just kind of was a drag across the line, and the quarterback Mills rolls out and just dumps it over to him, and he's into the end zone.
I think they were thinking a handoff again, maybe, up the middle. And we'll see here. The extra point, are they going to go for 2? I would think you'd want to do that. Then you make it a touchdown and an extra point to tie it here. So they'll come out and go for 2. A little confusion now, and the play clock's running down, and the flag's going to be delay a game here.
They might have gotten a timeout. Nope.
No, I don't think they did. Coach is over there. There was a little confusion on what play to run on that. Well, in some ways, the passing offense, that extra 5 helps you a little bit, Laura, when you're down here.
Gives you a little bit more room to work with.
So here we go for the 2-point conversion. Throws it quick inside, knocked away. Is that Eaton again? Can't see the number. Smith. So that makes it 21-12. Here, so now it's a 2-score lead still for Waukee. But we talked about it. They kept going to Stephon Field. Finally hit him, and hopefully he'll be able to come back in the game. He went out with an injury after catching that pass down the sideline. And they've been going to the right side, and they came back to the left and found him there. But with 3:41 to go here, it's a 21-12 Waukee lead.
Fields was able to run off under his own power and get to the sideline, so I'm assuming we'll probably see him again, and he's a much-needed weapon that the Scarlets need.
Moines to kick off, deep to receive for the Warriors. Aaron Smith, number 5. Antoine Watson, number 12. Sam Odell, number 16.
So they went, took that from the 42. They drove it in and thought he went down to the knee, but I guess he didn't. He comes up with that and all the way up to the 44-yard line.
Seafried on the return, number 20.
Looked like he, Mason Seafried, almost looked like he went down on, had a knee down, but nobody blew the whistle, so.
Get up and run.
Waukee gets it in good field position. 1st and 10 at the 44. So can East hold them here and get it back? We'll see. Mitch Randall comes out with receivers to each side, fakes the inside handoff, lobs it back outside, and it'll be knocked out on out of bounds. Espeland over there with the catch.
Devin Elliott, number 1, made the stop.
Just off the fake, they roll out Randall and
7-yard gain.
dump it over to Espeland.
Devin Elliott on the stop for East. Stops the clock as he went out of bounds, and they'll bring trip receivers down here to the bottom of your screen. And Randall fakes and runs it himself. Gets the first down, breaks through. 30, 25, 20, and pulled down finally inside the 20-yard line. So deceptive when he gets through there, but there's a flag down back here toward the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be holding.
33-yard gain.
Yep, holding on Waukee, so the 33-yard pickup will be wiped out.
One of those unfortunate mistakes at an inopportune time. You get the great run by Randall, and now it's going to be called back because of holding. And those are the things that, as you said,
we talked about earlier. Those are the kind of things that helped East kind of stay close. That 15-yarder earlier got them back in, and they got a score. And here you get a big 33-yard pickup, but it's wiped out and ends up being, well, after they walk it off there, it's going to end up costing you probably 7 yards. It went from the spot of the foul.
But it costs you a lot of yardage and a first and goal, probably.
Yeah. Cost you about, 35 altogether. Once picked off! Picked off the ricochet. Up across the 50. And you see who it was?
Number 15 on the pick for the Scarlets.
That would be Cedric Warren. Number 15, Cedric Warren picks it off.
I think it was off the hands of Sam Odell. That was a bullet. And just off the fingertips. And right into the hands of Warren.
So this looks familiar, though. This is where they started out the second half at the 49, remember? And then they went backwards here. So we'll see if East can do something with it now as they open up the second half there. Now quick across the middle, and it's knocked away. Deshaun Jibu. Or was it 13? Okay, Isaiah Dameron off his hands. 2nd and 10.
Boy, tried to thread the needle into the middle of some traffic and almost able to get it to his receiver, but defense collapsed down around and knocked it away.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 49 for East. Pressure again. Evades it. Rolls out up the sideline and is going to get a few yards. Well, they just have not found any answer for that pressure in the middle here in the second half.
No, and they've had some bad snaps as well. We didn't see that in the first half,
No.
the bad snap from the center high off to the side and making his quarterback work a lot back there and scramble.
Well, I think he's thinking get it back there quick and get up.
Yeah.
But then, that makes it, that compounds the problem of the rush when you get the ball back there, as you say, off kilter or low. So 3rd and 7 at the 46 for East. They need a big play here to keep this drive going. And they'll hand it off. Oh, and just hammered as he got back to the line of scrimmage. Davis looked like he was picking up a head of steam, but that was closed off quickly by that interior line.
Yeah, they've done that a lot here in the second half. Really bottled up the middle.
So 4th and 7 at the 46. And Mills will be in there again. He's punted out of this formation. They went for it once and got it. Snap comes in, he'll punt it again. High punt, taken. And then dropped at the 27-yard line.
The punt is returned by Joe Morrison, number 36.
Morrison.
Couldn't do anything off the turnover, and the defense again kind of arches their back and comes strong, shuts down that East running and passing game.
Well, that's got to be the story here the second half. It's just that pressure from Waukee's defense. Mills, who had a lot of time in the first half, not much here in the second half. 1st and 10 at the 27, cutting through Randall, and gets taken down after getting the first down.
Tackle for East, number 42.
And
No name listed in the program. Result of the play, Waukee Warrior.
one thing they don't want to see is Randall starting to get heated up on the running game too, because we've seen him bust off some big plays for touchdowns.
He's just so elusive when he gets out into the open field.
And he keeps it himself right up the middle. And he'll get about 4. And just milking that clock, under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Man, this third quarter seems like it's taken a long time.
Yeah, that first half went fairly quickly. We saw a lot of running plays, a lot of sustained drives, and now we've seen a lot of passing here in the third quarter. That
East trying to get back into it, throwing it a lot, but looks like Waukee's going to try to keep it on the ground quite a bit here to keep that clock rolling. And they do again. There is a handed off to Lindquist.
Well, and when you don't throw a lot and then you get the carom and the interception the last time you throw the ball, you just think, you know what, might as well protect this lead and milk a little clock and try to wind it down.
You got a 9-point lead here, so work it down the field, eat up the clock. And Randall, as we say that, goes deep and over the head of Odell. Had him down the middle. And just over his hands, and that was 6. It was about a yard shorter.
Looks like Odell came down fairly hard. He's trying to shake some things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as we say that they're going to just run, he goes deep.
They go deep. Well, yeah, the defense thinking run, I guess, and Odell will go back up to the top there. And they'll hand off to Lindquist. He bends backwards inside the 45. That could possibly be the last play here, depending on when he's going to wait. So he's going to let it roll down. They could let the clock roll down here. We'll see. They will snap it. 3rd down. Up through, cuts across for the first down. Lindquist down to the 33 with 10.3 seconds to play in the 3rd. And you see a tired East defense out there, Laura.
Well, you talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast that eventually the big bodies of Waukee would probably wear down that defensive line and those linebackers of East and be able to push them all over the field.
So they roll the clock, and that'll do the 3rd quarter. We'll go to the 4th quarter. Waukee hanging on here, 21-12 over East. Back with the final period after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. September and October are the best times of year to sit outside, and we still have a great selection of 2018 merchandise, like this OWLE Deep Seating group. Or maybe you'd prefer wicker, like this North Cape group. And fire pits. There's nothing better than sitting out on the deck in the fall with a nice fire going. But get here soon, because the sold tags are coming out quick and you don't want to be too late. For great deals on great furniture, come to Fireplace Superstore.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
We'll go to the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 at the 33 for Waukee. Dar Danielson, Laura Leonard. Here at Waukee, they lead 21-12. Handoff and still pounding ahead. And it's going to be close to another first down. Lindquist, sophomore, stepped up to start here tonight with Sam Yeway out, and he's done a real good job, Laura.
And he did last week, too, against Mason City. Had a really nice game, and I believe 4 touchdowns in that game. So stepping in and nicely filling in for Yeway.
Handoff again, and he's going to get the first down, I believe, now. Yep.
Deshaun Fugate in on the tackle again, number 21.
Fugate on the tackle. Deshaun Fugate for East. Milwaukee again back on the ground, grinded it out here with that 9-point lead. And the fake Randall will keep it this time and nothing up the middle. He'll lose a couple.
Well, I think he knows he made the wrong read. He pulled the ball out of the running back's belly and decided to take it up the middle, and there was about 4 East defenders right there.
Yeah, we kind of see him walking back here talking to himself. What, you should have kept it in there. And 2nd and 11 at the 22.
2nd and 11 for the Warriors.
This time he hands it off, and dropped is Lindquist.
Met at the line of scrimmage by number 8, Caden Ballou.
Caden Ballou with the big hit.
Valley now up 42-10 on Urbandale in the second half there. So 3rd and 11. And East jumps.
The hard count got East to jump, and an opportunity for them to be aggressive, 3rd and long, to try to get that stop, and Waukee gives the hard count, gets them to jump.
Well, you got to credit Waukee's defense, because East has had some chances. They come out and get the ball a couple times, 1st and 10 at the 49 into Waukee territory, and ended up going more backward than forward here. And here's a lob over to the left side, and that's going to be over the head. Good coverage down there. Looking back, wanting the flag, but Odell isn't going to get it.
No, a little bit of hand fighting, but that was about it.
Devon Elliott, I think, was back there on the coverage for East. So 4th and 6. It looks like they're going to go for it here. And trying to set up a screen across the middle. It's tipped around and caught. They're going to come up short of the first down, but that was, I think it went off a Waukee player, then off an East player, and then finally caught by a Waukee player. And he ends up short of the first down, so it'll go over on downs.
Well, they let the lineman come through. They wanted to set up the screen to try to pick up that first down, so everybody came rushing through, but that pass was a little high, and it went off at least 3 different people before it was caught.
You got to slow them just a bit. You can't just let them. That was just like a jailbreak. Yeah, and those linemen got to give them a little shove, but Randall had no time, still looking and trying to pass it out there, but it'll go over 1st and 10 at the 16 for East. And running through, almost slipped the tackle there. Davis up to the 20, gets 3 out of that, but if he gets by that tackle, he had a lot more green out there. And brings up 2nd and 7 at the 20.
Well, and if you're East, you want to be efficient. You want to move fairly quickly, not necessarily hurry up, but you got to make some quick plays.
Quick pass out there. Jalen. No, that was Dameron. And that'll be a first down up to the 27.
So that stopped the clock for him briefly.
Because you still got 8:55, you're only down 9. You get a score, and then you onside it. Then you need, a field goal maybe or another score. Their kicking game has not been the greatest for them tonight, but
yeah, you don't necessarily have to be in that full hurry up, but you just want to be quick.
Here's a quick pass out to Dameron again, I believe.
And you want to make sure you're hanging on to the ball, too.
Yeah,
when
you don't want to turn it over.
Being hit by about 4 different defenders, you got to tuck that ball in.
And then, for them, maybe there's Field. He's back out there. That's good to see. Maybe pick away those short passes and then break one deep for Field. They've been looking for him on that go route. Across the middle, throw it up high over the head of Matthew Scott. Brought that down a little bit. They're going to have a big yardage pickup there.
Yeah, right in the middle of the field, and the ball is just a little too tall for Scott, and would have been a big pickup for the Scarlets.
Stops the clock at 8:18 to play here in the ball game. 3rd and 7 at the 30 for East. Just so many drives been stalled here by the defense. Trips right. They'll hand it off this time. Busting over the left side, up across for the first down is Maurice Davis. He gets all the way up almost to the 40-yard line, so switched him up a little bit that time. Thinking pass and hand it off.
Yeah, good job of play calling, and because I'm sure everybody thought they needed to pick up 7 yards. They're probably thinking pass, and instead they hand it off, go around the left end, and pick up the first down.
Mills looking, pressure, and he spins out of there, but they're going to blow it dead. He said he stopped his progress. So
well, they came at him from both sides, didn't allow him any chance to try to escape.
Sandwiched him there. And they didn't fall on him, so there's no roughing call.
I think sometimes if you just touch them in the NFL, it's roughing.
It's gotten that bad, yeah. 2nd and 18. And they come late, pressure there, and he gets it out, but it hammered right away. And the receiver's still down. And that was
Damerson.
Simon Lofsgaard on the tackle.
Doing a good job of hanging on because he got nailed as soon as he received that pass.
Still taking a lot of ticks off the clock here. 3rd and 14. At the 36 for Des Moines East, trailing by 9. Needs some yards and needs some points. And off the hands, ricochet, interception up the sideline. Cole Spikesma, the linebacker. I think that was Scott, or no, that was number, was it 4?
Woodyard.
Woodyard. I think it went off of him into the hands of Cole Spikesma, and he returns it down to the 18.
Well, that's what he said. You got to take care of the football. You want to pick up those extra yards, and that ball just went right off of his hands, right into Waukee's hands.
Mills fired it in there pretty hard, but again, the defense comes up big. Quick pitch out for Waukee. And Lindquist knocked out of bounds.
Sean Fugate, 21 on the tackle. 2nd and 11.
And now Waukee can be patient.
Yeah, they'd like to get this score, but they'd also like to take a few minutes off the clock as well.
Randall keeps it himself, and he's ripped down from behind.
Mitch Randall, quarterback on the run. Tanner Tillotson, number 64, made the tackle.
Tanner Tillotson in there on the stop. 2nd and 14 at the 22. We'll make that 3rd and 14. Randall looks to the sideline to get the play. With the double slots in there. Fakes a handoff, throws it toward the end zone. Odell, I think, is that caught a touchdown.
Well, again, the great hands right into the middle of the end zone. Odell has gone up and gotten a lot of passes from Randall. That one, he goes right up at the peak, pulls it in for the much-needed touchdown for Waukee.
Well, 5:33 to play. Jaden will come out to try to add the PAT. And it's no good. Wide left. 27 to 12 here. So widen the lead to 15 for, it's still 2 scores, but 2 big scores.
Right.
You got to get in the end zone twice now to get back in this one.
Well, and you got to go hurry up now, too. You can't huddle up. You've got to have those plays ready to go, and you got to move with a sense of urgency if you're the East High Scarlets. So Waukee takes advantage of the turnover and extends the lead. Now they're going to try to stop East High from coming back.
So for Randall, that's his 12th touchdown pass of the season, and he had a rushing touchdown earlier, so he's got 2 rushing touchdowns, 12 passing touchdowns on the season. And Jaden will kick it off here for Waukee. Well, you got to keep saying it again, the Waukee defense, credit them. Here's a little looper taken at the 22, up across the 30, up to the 32. And again, East has started in good field position this whole second half, Laura. They've just been unable to string a long drive together at all. They had the one long pass and then scored, but just unable to get any sustained drives here very much at all in the second half.
And yeah, and we saw them do that in the first half. They were able to get those long drives, but they have not been able to do that. So credit the Waukee defense for making some adjustments at halftime.
Yeah, it seemed like they dialed up more pressure and got more pressure on Mills, the quarterback, Corey Mills, for East, and just not let him sit back in the pocket and pick him apart, kind of like he did in the first half.
And I think you're probably going to see the pressure turn up here.
This time they'll hand it off, try to spin around and run it outside. And breaking free is Tyler Woodyard. He spins out of there and goes for the touchdown.
Well, nobody wrapped up. There was a big scrum in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and then he kind of spun out of there, and everybody thought he was down, but that's a 68-yard touchdown.
And all of a sudden, he just shoots out of the middle of that, and he's going down the field for the touchdown. We'll talk about hurry-up offense. There you got it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that he kept going. It was just like, wow.
You know, we've talked about it all night long where all the running backs from both teams have just never given up. Just keep driving, and he just stayed upright, kept the legs moving, spinning. Nobody wrapped up, and he pops out of the mass of bodies and able to get to the end zone.
So, let's see, 18, they're going to go for 1 here. They'd still need to score, then go for 2 eventually, but they're going to try to get the 1 now. And the kick is up and good. So it's 27-19. Wow. That was just surprising how he spun out of there and just kept going.
It was, and you know, you play till you hear the whistle.
Yep.
And they didn't hear the whistle, and he just kept moving.
So Woodyard scores, and boy, a whole new ballgame, an 8-point lead now for Waukee.
And I don't think you need the onside kick here.
No, I don't think so either with 5:12.
And they really haven't kicked it deep. I don't think they have the kind of kicker that can kick it deep. They've been popping it up most of the game on their kickoffs, and so
might like to have him pop it in a more open spot so it rolls a little more, though, because they've been able to come up on it and field it, and either that or kick a hard squibber. So it's, you know, you got to go down and pick it up at least. And we'll see what they do here. But Morales Ordaz kicked the extra point there. And now it's a 1-score game here. We'll have to score and get the 2. How big is that fumble in the end zone looking now, too? Go back to that, where East fumbled and Waukee recovered. Here's the run up, and just kind of lob over there, taken at the 23-yard line, looking for room. Knocked around, spins out of it, still going up across the 40, 50, 40, 35, and knocked down at the 28-yard line.
Well, it's the last thing you wanted to have happen if you're East High Scarlets. You know, you pop it up, been doing that all game long, but you need to wrap up. It looked like they lowered some shoulders to try to knock him off his feet, but he stayed upright.
But Aaron Smith took that short kick and ran it back. So that changes everything here, too, with 5 minutes to play. 1st and 10 at the 28. They hand it up the middle, breaking through there, down across the 15. Lindquist.
Brought down by number 15, Cedric Warren. The result of the
Well, they give up the one-play touchdown, and they're going to come back and maybe answer that with the 2 or 3 play drive.
Hand off and hammered down right behind the line of scrimmage. Good defensive reaction that time. And
well, and if you're East, you have to figure you're going to be on the field for 4 downs.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, you know what though? Maybe Waukee will kick that field goal
yeah,
if they get to 4th down.
I
to
bet
extend
they probably
that
would.
lead.
Yeah, bring Jaden in and try to kick the field goal and extend that out. 2nd 12 at the 16. Hand off Lindquist up the middle, down to the 10. Pulled down. Winding down to 4 minutes to play here. Fugate on the tackle.
3rd down, about 7 for the Warriors.
3rd and 7 at the 16. Spread everybody out. Now they look over to the sideline.
They got time to burn.
7 on the play clock. They snap it, hand it off. Lindquist looking to get the edge, and he's going to be knocked out. Couldn't quite turn the corner there. And that stops the clock, too, which is at least once there's a flag down. Holding on Waukee. Which, yeah, what do you do here? Do you take the penalty?
Because it'd be 4th and 5 probably, or
yeah, but
3rd and 17.
17. I might take it because then it does add more if they do think about a field goal. Makes it a little bit longer if you can get a stop here. Because you're still 3:27. Still got some time. And they are going to take the penalty. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7 at the 21. And Randall will keep it. Rolls out, throws low, and that is incomplete, and that was well covered out there. Looking for Odell. Lowry on the coverage. Well, that stops the clock, brings up 4th down. They're going to bring out Jaden. He's 0 for 1 on field goal attempts this year. They'll mark it back at about the 29. That'll be a 39-yard field goal attempt here. Snap is down, and it's way low, and not even close.
Well, exactly what you said. Take that penalty, move them back further. They held them on 3rd down, forced them to kick the field goal, which they missed. They held, so they get the opportunity, 3:15, to try to hurry down the field and score.
Yeah, now you got a little time, but maybe if you try to go in a little hurry up, get a little rhythm going. They haven't had much rhythm at all on offense, but for that last play, the handoff, Whittier just kind of spun around, and that was a little bit weird because it seemed like everybody had him stopped, and everybody then kind of stopped, and then he kept going. So we'll see.
And if you're Waukee now, you got to wrap up. I mean, you can't just lower a shoulder and expect to try to knock them down. You really have to hang on and wrap up and get them to the ground.
Here's Mills. Sends a man in motion across the formation. Drops back, throws it out. Whoa. Little miscommunication as he threw it out and the receiver came in. Field.
He was going to the middle of the field, and Mills was throwing to the sideline.
Yeah, wanted him to go on that sideline route that they've probably thrown that a dozen times and hit it once or twice.
Twice
here.
for sure.
Yeah. So 2nd and 10 at the 20. And now they hand it off, and that goes absolutely nowhere but backwards.
When they were ready for that.
Yeah. The draw there did not fool them at all. So now you're in 3rd and long. And you got to get a big play here, either get half of it, because you got to go on 4th down. You're not probably going to get the ball back.
Right.
Here. You got 3 timeouts, but still, the way Waukee's been running it and grinding the clock, you want to do something here. Here's Mills. Rolling. Now throws it back the other way, trying to set up something out there. Well defended, but he gets a couple yards, so Waukee sniffed that out, trying to set up that kind of a
got him out there in the flat.
Yeah, with some blockers, but the defender read it well and blew it up, so could come down to this. 4th and 12 at the 18 for East.
And they're in punt formation.
Now that's weird. The punter way back, and they're going to punt it. Well, they got 3 timeouts. Maybe they figure. And it bounces there, and they get on it quick. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 49.
And that's what they're banking on, is that they do have those timeouts, that they can stop Waukee. But Waukee's offensive line has been so dominant here in the second half that.
Yeah. And really, the only time they kind of stopped themselves when they tried to pass it, So 1:41 to play here. Waukee with it. Handoff up the middle, and they ride him down. Pickup of 1 for Lindquist. And they call the timeout right away. That took 5 seconds off the clock.
Well, that's the game plan right now for East, and Waukee is just going to be content to try to continue to hand the ball off to Lindquist or keep it in the hands of Randall.
27-19. Seen a little bit of everything here tonight. Waukee comes out, 2 plays and scores. East comes right back, gets a field goal that's no good. Then they get the ball back and score, get the extra point blocked. They battle back, stay close, and then get that long run by Woodyard, where it looked like everybody kind of had him wrapped up, but he spun out of it, and everybody's watching. He runs down the field and scores, and now stop the clock here. 2nd and 9, 48, 1:36 to play. And got to stop them, otherwise. Here's Lindquist again, pulling ahead, and he's going to be just short of the 1st down.
Boy, that is so close.
About a yard short.
And they finally get the timeout, I believe.
Yep. Stop at 1:24. And not an easy task ahead to stop them here from getting that yard, Laura, the way Waukee's grounded out on the ground here tonight. You just got to hope you get something, or maybe you can hold him up in the pile and strip the ball or something, if anything, You
got to make something happen, but that big offensive line of Waukee has had pretty good surge most of the second half, and moving that East defensive line off the ball.
But you gotta credit East. They've kept this a ball game all the way here into the final couple minutes. They just keep battling at it and have not made it easy. And look, a couple times like Waukee was just going to grind the clock out and go on home with the victory, but East has kept right at it. So they'll come out, 3rd and 1 at the 40. Just one timeout left for East here with 1:24 to play on the game clock. Handle looks, and timeout called for Waukee.
Tried to get him to jump.
So let's take a break. Do that. We'll be right back after this on CISN.TV.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Back here at Waukee, they took a timeout after coming out and checking out the defensive alignment here. They need a yard to get a first down on 3rd and 1 and probably salt away this game. East would have one more timeout, but would likely not be enough. And here's something where looks like he's going to come under center. I was just say you rarely see Randall do that, and he comes up under center and going to hand off, and up across. Lindquist will get the first down, which will momentarily stop the clock with 1:19 to go, but then they'll wind it again. Here. And now you just got to stack them up and start hacking at the ball. Hope you can pop it out of there somehow.
Let's see if he can cause the fumble, but they might, they're
going to go victory formation, so. Randall looking at the sideline. I think the play is just snap and take a knee.
Yeah, I don't know how much direction you need.
The play clock is running down here. And he takes a snap. Takes a knee, and maybe one more snap by the time they get it marked. Oh, a little more than that. We'll see.
Yeah. East had decided not to take the timeout.
Yeah.
Second down, Warriors.
Oh, big district battle here. So Waukee's going to come out 2-0, and East is going to battle hard but fall to 0-2 in the district. And he'll wait to snap it till it gets down to 1. Snaps it, takes a knee, and that will just about do it here for Waukee. Well, you got to credit East, man. They fought all the way down to the end in this one.
Well, they, I thought all the way around played very well, and going back to that first kickoff to Waukee in 2 plays, all of a sudden you're down 7-0, and it could have easily dropped your head and said, okay, this one's over. We're beat already 2 minutes into the ball game, but they didn't. They fought back and able to make this a ball game. Just could never get over that hump to try to get the lead.
And credit that second half defensive adjustment, whatever Waukee did to put more pressure on, dial up more blitzes or pressure there. That just seemed to work. And East offense, they had some good field position. Started out at the 49 there, and start the second half and could not do anything with it. And whatever adjustment they made defensively at halftime really worked for them.
Yeah, I think they showed a little more pressure. They showed the linebackers coming, blitzing a little bit, and they mixed some things up at the line of scrimmage. And so I think it caused some problems for East. They had some high snaps that Mills was not able to handle. That caused some problems. That caused the problem for the handoff in the end zone. And that gave Waukee a score, and that was all due to those defensive adjustments.
Well, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the scoring and then wrap up the ball game here. 27-19, Waukee wins here tonight on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event featuring new 18 Silverado Double Cab LTs. Power lease, $259 per month lease. Power price, $32,490. New 18 Silverado Crew Cabs. Power lease, $429 per month lease. Power price, $36,490. Over 170 Traverse, Equinox, and Trax available. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. Schottenkirk Chevy, Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Back here at Waukee High School, the final here are Waukee 27-19 over Des Moines East. Star Danielson, Laura Leonard. Let's run down the scoring for you here. Started out, Waukee took the ball, 2 plays. They went to 66 yards. And it was a Randall keeper from 13 yards out after a big pass play that got it down to the 13. And the kick was good by Jaden. It was 7-0. Then 2:47 to play in the first quarter. Jalen Long took a 30-yard pass. The kick extra point was blocked. It was 7-6. Waukee over East. Into the second quarter, Lindquist had a 2-yard run. The kick was good by Jaden, and it was 14-6. Then in the third quarter, a punt, it was a great play by Alex Walsh. The punter, a high snap, almost went over his head, but he punts it down to the 2. The first play, East fumbles it in the end zone. Barreto, the linebacker, falls on it for Waukee. The extra point was good, and it's 21-6. Then Des Moines East came back with 3:41 to play. Pass to Scott with 7 yards out. The kick was no good, made it 21-12. Then with in the fourth quarter, 5:33 to go, Sam Odell, a 22-yard pass. The kick was no good, 27-12. Waukee led. Des Moines East then, Woodyard broke free and spun out of the tackles and went 68 yards to get the touchdown, and that made it, the kick was good and made it 27-19, and that's the way we ended. Des Moines East had a couple chances there late, stopped the clock, but then couldn't close off Waukee, and they run out the clock. So the final 27-19. We'll take our final break here, come back with some final words, and wrap up this ball game on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Back here in the press box at Waukee ends up winning tonight. The hard-fought battle with East in this district matchup, Laura, they took it right down to the end, but Waukee got to be feeling good now, 2-0 in the district, and a big victory here for them at home.
Yeah, they needed to keep pace with, I think Indianola was the other team that was undefeated in this district, and so wanted to keep pace with them. They did that, and but East certainly gave them a match here tonight. Did a good job of going toe-to-toe with them in the first half, and the passing game kept them in it. Defensive adjustments in the second half by Waukee were able to keep East out of the end zone most of the game. Yeah, I believe Indianola and Johnston both were winning tonight, so three teams will stay at undefeated in the district play, and we don't want to look too far ahead, but Waukee Johnston, the final game of the season coming up, but a good night here for Waukee. They had some mistakes, but they're able to overcome them against East, and a big defensive effort in the second half. Connor, our camera guy, he doesn't look too cold out there. He's doing all right. Well, Anna at the controls over here, she's got on gloves, blanket, coat, hat, all kinds of stuff. She's got a little bonfire going
on.
Yeah,
she's got something going. Foot warmers, but a chilly night, but a good warm result for Waukee. And the East, they got to be happy with the way they played and come back out and maybe work out a few more things. But a good gritty East team here tonight. Yeah, they've got a nice team. They've got a nice mix. They mix things up offensively with run and pass, and they've got some really fast receivers on the outside. But again, that Waukee defense down the stretch really made some good plays. And you talked about some penalties where they hurt themselves. Those were all done in the first half. Second half was pretty clean for Waukee. Didn't put themselves behind the sticks at all. Didn't put themselves in any kind of jeopardy, and played a pretty clean second half. And that's, I think, what helped them. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up here tonight. Be sure to check out our website, CISN.TV. CISN.TV. Wait. CISNTV.com to see the schedule. I'm getting cold. Yeah, it's chilly here. I better anyway, check our games for next week. Thanks for watching here tonight on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.